candidate and PC petition were something less than perfect. So what I did was I said, I'd like to go through those, but I didn't want to handle original petitions. So what I did was there was this stack of petitions that were photocopies.
Well,
so,
why were they there?
What's that?
Why did you have photocopies?
We already said, those were the ones that Debbie Walsh never picked up because she took a CD instead. So they were already made. So I went back to my office and I said, okay, they think these two signatures look alike. So I went to the computer screen to print out the two signatures to staple them to the petition to expedite our eventual review. Something that I submit could have been done Saturday or Sunday, or Monday, which we never did on Monday, although Pam and I did an expedited version of it yesterday afternoon at 4:30. That was all just to expedite the process so that we could try and get done by 2 o'clock or 9 o'clock this morning.
But
it wasn't because I was trying to give some sort of grand review. And this nefarious plot that you say that we had these people scrolled up in a quarter, those were just the better computer verifiers.
Why were they put aside and way in the side of the room until they had
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Special project?
I don't know anything about
Mr.
that.
Chair, I feel like we're circling at 30,000 feet. We need to land
I
the plane.
agree with you.
So back to what I feel was inappropriate actions on some of the staff here on the weekend with respect to reviewing and scrutinizing certain petitions beyond what others were being scrutinized. So we brought some people up here who we felt needed to be part of the conversation. I would suggest that maybe we have them come up and ask them some questions.
Well, since Mary Jean is the plaintiff here, why don't you identify the people you'd like to call up?
Jan May, KJ, and Dolores Stevenson, Dave Petty. I go first, Dave.
I mean, do you want me to make a statement? Do you want to ask questions?
Well, Mary Jean is the host here.
Yeah, tell us what, in your words, what happened over the weekend.
Well, like they said, of course, being more Republican petition than Democrats, of course, the Republicans finished the Democrat petition first. Historically, how I understand it, we go through the petitions, we check whether it's state issues, candidates, doesn't matter. We make one pass, we go back, look at all the bads, trying to make them good, because we want to get people on the ballot. That's our job, is what I understand. This time, it was a little bit different. We went through, of course, they finished first, and instead of going straight to that bad pile, they went straight to the Coughlin pile. Hearing these arguments about they already pre-checked theirs and everything else, well, I don't know about that, but historically we only look at the bad, try to make it good. I kind of feel, how do we say, you're questioning my work and their work when you're looking just on this. I mean, it's,
But
we don't historically look at the good ones, so why?
You told me they
why
went
do we
straight
do
for
it?
the good ones.
Straight for the good, in quotes, Coughlin petitions.
And if I may, it makes no sense to review something that's already been nominated as less than perfect, that's going to have a future review a second time. Once it's in the questionable folder, for the purposes of time, why would you look at that again? That's going to be looked at again by the director and deputy director to see if it withstands any sort of challenge. We agreed that all petitions were going to be looked at by both parties, period.
Why was it a special project?
Well, I guess
It
we've
wasn't
been
a
doing
special
it
project.
for
We can
years
talk
now,
to
'cause
Dennis.
we've been looking at the bad ones since I've been here.
It wasn't a special project, but let me also back up to one other piece, if I may. The idea of who Republicans assign Republicans to what they're going to do, and Democrats assign Democrats. I don't exercise any opinion on what Democrat's going to work in absentee. I don't exercise any opinion on what Democrat works in the back room or in the front office or anything else like that, or part-timers assigned to whatever staff. When there was a vacancy in a booth clerk when Sharon Robinson left,
Right. Let's focus.
I am focusing. But what you're doing is you're painting this picture that the Republicans don't have the right to assign the part-timers or full-timers to the work that they assign. Gary assigned the Republicans, I think he did the right thing in assigning
This is
people who are
supposed
the
to be
most
a
computer
partisan
savvy.
board. I mean, we're supposed to work partisan.
Correct. But understand, if both sets of petitions have to be reviewed by both parties, there is a built-in assumption that
But why
both
would you
parties
only
have
go
to check and balance
But
each
why
other.
go for the good ones?
Because those were the ones that have, the other ones had already been
Why are you
nominated
trying- but why-
for needed further review.
But for the other petitions, if they were deemed good, they were finished. You stated that
They
in
were-
your email.
The vast majority of those were already pre-checked.
No, these are candidate petitions. Candidate petitions, there's no need to spend more time with the same party review.
Right.
So why would you spend more time on the same party review of good petitions?
No, we should look at all of them at the same time.
Well, then
But that's not what.
Well,
That's
are
not
there,
what you
let me
said.
say this, are there candidate petitions that weren't pre-checked, that didn't get a second, say, opposite, or same party review? Possibly, I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
but your focus was on the Coghlan good valid petition.
No, your focus is on them. Mine was just on, and 2 years ago, we had the same debate. You can practically read this discussion from the minutes from 2 years ago and be done with it. But 2 years ago, you were concerned about a third pass. And so we talked in advance and said, we agreed that both parties were gonna look at all petitions, if they wanted to. And that's what we did.
But
No
you
more,
didn't-
no less.
Well, why wouldn't you look at the bad petitions and try to make them good?
That's your job and my job.
But that's your second pass also.
No, actually, and that's the other thing. In this particular case, Pam instructed that, put in a whole new review process that we've never done before. I didn't object to it. I thought it was kind of a superfluous waste of time, but I didn't object to it. She tasked Gary and Dave with the responsibility of looking at every single same party or opposite party petitions before they went back to the reviewers. There was a whole other one that you're not even aware of. I didn't object. I didn't think it was worth the time, but nonetheless.
We didn't do it, and I already know about it. We didn't do it. But I would like to ask Dennis, if I can,
Go ahead.
Dennis?
Yeah.
I was told by someone in the front office that you stated to them that you were called in on Sunday to do this special project. Is that correct?
Not a special project. I had the impression that I was being called in to make a balance between Democrats and Republicans.
Okay, did you checked the petitions?
I did.
Were they all valid petitions?
Valid meaning,
They were all good petitions when you
When they
started
came to
looking
you,
at them.
they were already deemed as good. You
I
were
don't know that they
checking
were
them again.
deemed one way or the other. I
Did
just know-
Amanda tell you to start with the 5 signatures and see what you could do?
No.
Okay, but that was overheard by Jan May. She heard that
Okay,
statement.
it's fine.
This is hearsay?
But I,
Well, I have Jan
Not
May here to
hearsay, she's
verify
standing
it.
right here.
because
She's
I,
standing right there.
You heard this?
I heard Amanda say, look at the ones with justified.
And Dennis didn't.
Well,
He
Dennis
was
was,
sitting closer than I was.
I did not hear that.
Okay.
Because
they
I-
heard it, you
All
can
right.
tell them, but they heard it was a special
What are we trying
project.
to accomplish here?
That there was more scrutiny given to the Coghlan petitions, again, this time as last time.
Okay, and what was
Can I
the
say one
upshot
thing?
of it?
Please. Petitions that I looked at had any number of signatures from 5 to 11 to a full 18. So I saw any number, any different kind of petition.
Okay.
Well, I think we can wordsmith this all we want to. I'm just gonna be frank, I don't know that we're fooling anybody in this room. It's the same fight from 2 years ago. Coghlan and the New Summer Republicans are trying to take control of the Summit County Republican Party. The Summit County Republican Party has people on staff that are officers of the party, that not unlike we do. I think they're trying to do everything they can to eliminate people on the ballot, to ensure that they remain in control of the precinct committee persons, who remain in control of the party. That's the bottom line. I don't have an issue with that. That's not my fight. But it's happening in this building with taxpayers' dollars paying these people to do these jobs that are not being done like they were in the past. We need to treat everybody the same. I'm not gonna sit on a board and have this kind of stuff occur. We're gonna make sure it doesn't occur in the future. And I'm not sure what we do about knowing that it occurred this weekend. We're getting people saying it didn't and saying it did. We could talk all day, but I believe what Mary Jean's telling me, I believe what these folks are telling me that occurred, that the Coghlan petitions were scrutinized more than, I didn't hear that the Republican Party petitions that were sent